Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. This is Rogue. And she smells food on me, so she's wanting to know what it is she's smelling. My sister and I just had lunch, which I will tell you about in a minute. Today is October 2nd, and I am trying to get in my head what I'm going to be doing for all of October. I, of course, there's a roadrunner. That's what the dog's growling at. It looked beautiful. It's a little skinny. But I haven't seen a roadrunner in our yard before. A lot of quail. We have a lot of quail here. But I've never seen a roadrunner in our yard. That is so cool. When I was growing up, I lived on the west side of Albuquerque, and there was a roadrunner that lived in the yard across the street from us, and he was very fat and very happy and very friendly. Now, I'm not saying I went up and petted him or anything, but he didn't run away when he saw people. Everybody on the street enjoyed seeing him, and if you don't know, the roadrunner is a state bird of New Mexico. So this roadrunner was very fat, very happy. I loved seeing him, and I've kind of missed roadrunners here in Phoenix. I know they live here. I know there's some here, but I don't see them on a regular basis. And I remember seeing some at the Phoenix Zoo, and wasn't the same as seeing them out in nature, Okay, I don't like the Phoenix Zoo, but it's okay. It's, as a zoo goes, it's fine, but it's a privately owned zoo, not a city-owned zoo. So I recently decided I wanted to go and to look into the cost. $40. No. I love zoos. I've been to zoos many places. Yeah, no. That is completely and totally out of my budget. But, and I understand, they have to feed the animals during COVID. They weren't getting any money in. I get it. But it doesn't make it any easier to pay the $40. And that's not the only problem I have with the Phoenix Zoo. There's no shade. And the animals are very far apart. So you have a lot of walking with, without the animals in between, which is great because it gives them, a nice big enclosure. But I was very used to Albuquerque's biopark. And I had a membership. My son and I would go for 30 minutes, an hour. Didn't matter because I had a membership. You walk in and you see tons of flamingos, and I like flamingos. Anyway, different climate, different things, because Albuquerque Zoo is with the city. Anyway, this is not a channel about zoos. I'm going to talk to you about my cross stitch and some new bags I've made and some other things. But first, I do want to mention McDonald's. Now, if you don't know, I was a swing manager for McDonald's back in the dark ages. And I loved working for McDonald's. I actually made more money in a paycheck for McDonald's than when I was working at a graphic designer in a studio with my bosses and everything. It was a lot harder work, but it's still my favorite restaurant. Okay, it's not a restaurant, but you know what I mean. It's a fast food place, but it's my go-to place if I'm going to go get a drink or whatever. In the first place here, the drinks are only like $1 something. They used to be just $1, but it went up. And I use their app. And on their app, you can gain points every time you go there. They have coupons on the app, and you can gain points and use those points to get free food. So one night last week, my sister and I said, you know what, we have enough points to get a hamburger, a big hamburger, quarter pounder of cheese or something. And then we just have to buy the soda. And I said, yeah, we can afford to get a McFlurry or something if we do that. And so we both agreed, and off we went. Now, I should know better. I went to the McDonald's that's only a mile away from us. There's another one that is about 2 miles away the other direction. But, and that one is fantastic. But this one, there's always something. They don't have orange juice, or the line's a mile long, or they get your order wrong, or what have you. But we went to that McDonald's. And it was night. It was about 10 minutes to 8. No, 10 minutes till 9. And I pull up in drive-through and placed our orders. And when I asked about the ice cream, the girl was very flustered in what she was saying. And then she said, well, we're not selling any ice cream right now. We don't have any ice cream. And I was like, really? I've worked for McDonald's before. I know how this works. What do you mean you don't have ice cream? And she said, well, we're not selling any right now. What am I going to do? Right? So I finished my order and we drove up. I paid for it. I asked for a receipt so that I could complain about them not having ice cream at 9 o'clock at night, several hours before they close. And I got up to the window where they were going to give me the food. And they handed the bag with the sandwiches to me right away, which is weird because my sister asked for a quarter pounder with no onions. But it's possible one was about to come off the grill and they just made it correct, And then they closed the window and I'm waiting there. And finally they open the window again and say, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, you need to give me my drinks. And while I'm waiting, I saw, it happened to be the manager, but I saw one of the employees go across the parking lot with a tray, a drink tray, with sundaes in it, and give them to a car who was waiting there for their app order. And I said to the girl, that's ice cream. You don't have ice cream? And she said, and she kept trying, and I was like, don't tell me you don't have ice cream if you're selling ice cream to that person. And she said, well, it's just if you order through the app. Really? You sure? Needless to say, I was not very happy. I spoke to the manager. She's like, it's company policy. It's our policy. It's just policy. I said, I know it's not policy. Every other McDonald's everywhere else is selling ice cream right now. And she refused to budge. So we went and got our ice cream from the other one because, by that time we, really wanted it. My sister and I went for lunch today at McDonald's. I went inside. I talked to the daytime manager, and she's like, that's not our policy. And I was like, I didn't think it was. So we got free ice cream. So I know that has nothing to do with stitching or sewing or anything, but my son always makes fun of me when I complain. And I used to work at a craft store when I was living in Florida, and I remember the manager telling me, oh, we got another love letter from, the main, they would send the complaint things to the main office, and he would get back notice of them. And I remember the owner telling me, for every complaint we get, there's 10 people that are mad and didn't tell us, and told 10 of their friends, who told 10 of their friends. He said, but when people are happy, they never say anything. So it's important when somebody's unhappy to correct the problem, right? And also, it's my money. So if you didn't make my sandwich right, I would like for you to remake it correctly. But I'm usually not as angry as I was that night. And I know I was behaving very badly. I yelled at this poor woman. Well, okay, she wasn't a poor woman. She was lying. But, you know, anyway, but because I went in and told them what was going on, not only are they going to know from the complaint I did on the receipt, they're going to know right away from the person I spoke to, and she made it good. So now I'm going to fill out another thing saying, I like the daytime manager. Anyway, I will get started. I am sorry I've wasted already 10 minutes talking about McDonald's. I am going to start with my temperature. So this is Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts 2023 temperature sal, and we are now on October. Mine is not going to look like that. It might look like that, maybe. I'm hoping I didn't miss a day. It seems like a really big gap over here. I will count the days if it doesn't meet up, but because I'm only missing one here, Saturdays. But here's where I am, and you see that it's all basically the same color. Last week, there was one day that was above 100, and one day that was like basically below that little 4 or 5 degree thing. So 2 different colors, and then the rest are all the same. So yeah. Anyway, it's going to be very different. It was in the 80s yesterday, I think, and maybe a little higher, and it's only slated to get up to like 83 today. Although, if you're outside for any length of time, that is hot. I try. One of the reasons why I'm recording in the afternoon was not just because we went to McDonald's. We went to McDonald's for a different reason altogether. I had to take my sister somewhere, but I've been trying to work on the gate in our yard to sand it so that I can restain it so the HOA will be happy. And I keep encountering issues, but it was so hot. And that was in the morning. Not as hot as it would have been if I was working on it last month, but still hot. Anyway, I am very happy that I'm working on a temperature chart, and I'm very glad that I did it this year. Such a crazy year. Yeah. Next is the bags I made. They are already on. They are already on our Etsy shop. I bought this fabric a year ago and never made anything with it. It's got a cute little pumpkin charm, and it has a matching Notions pouch with a different color pumpkin. And last year I coined this color purple. It's not brown, it's not purple, it's purple. But it's a color on color leaf pattern. I think it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful deep color, and I think it looks really good with the pumpkin pattern. So there's that one. It's already on our Etsy shop. And then I showed you the fabric for this one last week. And see the little shiny outlines around the pumpkins? Now this has cornucopia, has gourds. Look at that corn. They both have sunflowers. And then this plaid color here. And this one has a yellow pumpkin, which I thought went good with that. And also a matching Notions pouch. Now this one has a red pumpkin. I know, but I saw red. So, I love the way the cornucopia is right at the bottom of this one. I didn't fussy cut it. It just came out that way. So those are now on our Etsy shop, and these are, when I cut them out, they're 14 inches, so about 13 inches wide and about 14 and a half inches deep. It's on the Etsy shop. They're plenty big for, you can even put more than one of the smaller project bag things in it. Okay, so where am I now? I will talk about, I had started this in the summer to make for my sister plant pots by Darling and Whimsy. So I said, her birthday's in a few days. Her birthday's on the 10th. I should probably work on that. I won't get it done by her birthday, but I don't care. Anyway, do you see this here? That's because when I counted this, it's one stitch short, so the eyeballs don't center. So I was trying to decide, should I just stitch this and have a fatter ear up here, which I might do. It'll make this narrower here, and when I put in the cactus, it won't have the same size gap on either side. I'm not sure I care, because I do not want to take all of that out. And I said, well, I could snip it and fix it, but is it worth it when I could just have a fatter ear on this side? So I may just do the fatter ear. I may snip it and fix this. Just, I am not gonna unstitch a frog out, all of that. No, that's not gonna happen. Or I could have it just off center. Thoughts? I'm kind of mad at it. It's in timeout because of this. So while I think about what I want to do, because I want to, especially since it's supposed to be for a gift, I want to make it as correct as possible, but I'm not gonna frog out all that stitching, especially not with black. It'll leave a black halo everywhere. So I may do the fat ear on one side, but I might talk to my sister and say, you know, what do you think? But I'd like to know your opinion. So let me know. Okay, now I thought I was going to have another finish. Falalamingo, hands-on design, and by the way, the other one is stitched on 14 count. I know, I can't remember. That I got at Hobby Lobby, Yorkshire. I don't know. It feels like burlap, but I think it looks great for something that you're going to be around plants and stuff like that. Looks very rustic. Okay, so Falalamingo. So I thought I was going to have a finish. I worked on this. I should have been doing other things. I worked on this for a long time yesterday, and this is how far I've gotten. So I need the little posts down here, and then the word Falalamingo. I had been dithering back and forth as to whether or not I wanted to put it, but yeah, I know. I travel behind. But when you have something behind it, you don't really see it. So. Yeah. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and put that in there because I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this, but I think it'll look better with the word. Now I am stitching this on 14 count, 32 count Lugana, and I don't remember what the color is, but it has little white spots on it. And now that carrying is bothering me. Now it doesn't. So I can't remember the name. I know it's mint. It's not some kind of blue. And the recommended is 32 count Icelandic blue linen. And I know this is Lugana. And I've discovered I really like Lugana. But I don't remember the color name. I have it in the bag that the attic sold it to me, but I don't put tags with what it is because everybody, stitches on whatever they like, and if they stitch it on the called for, that's one thing. But if somebody asks me, I will go look it up. But anyway, Falalamingo. Now, as you know, I finished Daisy May. So even though I worked on this more than 10 days, I did not get very far because I just was like, okay, I want to work on Daisy May. And so I spent more time, but I did do 10 days. And this is how far I've gotten. So not very far at all because we're not even finished with Jolly or this Christmas ornament. But it'll get done eventually, and it'll be around for Christmas for a really long time after that. So I'm not stressed about it not being done. And I apologize for the scratchiness of my voice. That happens sometimes, and I don't know why. But I'm not sick. It could be because I'm allergic to everything. I don't know. So the last bit of stitching I've done is on Snowflake Sheep, and it is by Lindsey Whitney of Counting Puddles. And I'm trying to find the color picture of it. Hold on. So here is where I am. So I'm almost done with the scarf. And this is just from the fabric. And I had been going over and over, and many of you have probably heard me, that the DMC color didn't make sense to me, that they said was, that's because that wasn't a DMC alternative that they gave me for the back stitching over and the French knots here. And there's a little bit of it around in here. It didn't make sense to me because I was reading it as a DMC alternative when it wasn't the DMC alternative. It was a number of the silk floss that they were telling you to use, and they did not give you any alternative. But it's obviously like a color on color thing on the scarf. And I finally found it on Treenway's site, and it's $6 more. I don't remember. And then shipping, and I said, no, I'm not going to pay for that. If I had the funds, maybe, but I just don't think it's something I can do right now. So I was thinking, well, maybe I could get a Krynic, because I could get that at the attic, and I could look at some of the other threads they have that might suffice. And I was looking in my threads for, I can't find any of the threads for there was one thread in particular I could not find, and I know I had it because I'm looking at the project and it's in there. But I went through it. I think I went through every single project bag. It's not in a project bag. I don't know where it is. So I'm just going to buy it again. It's a DMC color. But anyway, I was looking for that for Narnia, which I will show you here in a minute. And I have this. It's a DMC thread. It's horrible to work with. I've worked with it before. But that probably would work. Because one of the things that it said was that, it's shiny. Not shiny, but, shinier than regular thread. And it's a little bit thicker, of course, because it's cord. And I said, I won't enjoy working with this, but I can do it. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to use. And problem solved. And so I just have the white mound to finish this, the little things around here. There's also a hanger that he's holding in his mouth. Backstitch the eye and the whatever here. And then do all that stuff for the lights. And it sounds like a lot, but I think I've gotten pretty far so far. And so I'm hoping to start on this, on the next one pretty quickly. I don't know which one I'm going to do next, but I'm hoping that I can start on that soon. If you bark, you're going in the other room, so you can just sit down. Lie down and be a good girl. So, the WIPGO project that I decided to start with first is Chronicles of Narnia, and it is a stitching book club, and it is actually the same designer or the same company, Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts, that did my temperature saw. And I'm putting a picture here because I still haven't printed it out, but I realized why I didn't have the PDF to show you. When I downloaded it onto my tablet, it asks me, what program do you want to open this with? And I put the stitching program that I have that pulls it up. And so it didn't record it in my downloaded stuff, even though it obviously was. So I downloaded it, and you see the picture. And here's where I am. And that color I can't find is this one right here. So I got almost all of the first, it was a mystery cell, I think. And so I got almost all of the first one done. And I didn't even get anywhere on the second and third. It was only 3 parts. But this is the called for fabric. It's a 14 count DMC opalescent fabric. Okay. Your job is not to police the birds outside. Birds are allowed to be outside. Especially if it's a roadrunner. Anyway, I didn't do any work on it yesterday. I got it out and I said, where are my threads? Most of the threads were in different bags because I hadn't worked on it in a long time. And I was like, okay, I'm going thread hunting. And I still can't find that one. Now, I don't know. I don't know where it is. I may try again later today to see if I can find it rather than walking into Hobby Lobby to look for it because there be dragons. No, don't sit on that. Don't sit on that. Good girl. She was sitting on the bags. Anyway, she's going over there to try to be a good dog. So I have a tiny bit of haul. My sister needed to go to Joanne, and I was walking by an end cap, and I saw these, and I was like, those are really cute. And that ghost, he's so happy. I can't get it to focus. So I walked over to the beads, and I saw these beads. And I was like, okay, I like that. And I know we already have some candy corn, but I went ahead and got more. And I got these for spacer beads. And I was like, but I need something else. And I saw these, which is more like the beads that I like to get for my space stuff. But don't those kind of look like eyeballs? So I don't know how I'm going to put them together, but I got to do it fast because it's already the first week of October. Got to get that done. So, yeah. And then for I'm going to be doing this one right here. That's the one my son chose for his girlfriend. Stop. This is 14 count plastic canvas. I don't know if you can see the holes. They're very little because it's 14 count and they're clear. Yeah, you can see it right there. I'm going to have to start on it next, I think, because if I hate working on this or whatever, I might just go buy some perforated papers. Anyway, that is all. Gosh, my shirt always crawls up. Hopefully. Oh, also, I'm going to be designing a bag for the Phoenix Symphony to carry some educational posters in. And I didn't bring that bag of fabrics here because it's heavy. But because I only bought enough for making one bag so that I could design it, so I could lay stuff out and figure out how I want to do it, toward their specifics. So that I know what I'm going to do, and it'll go faster for the others. I have to have the first one done later this month. So I might show that here before I send it off to them. Hopefully I'll get it done in time to do that. If not, I will take a picture. Anyway, I hope your October is starting out good, and I'll see you next week, and happy stitching. Thanks.